All right, here we go. Well, Sharks fans, you asked, and we here at the ET Stand podcast have listened and we've delivered. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most anticipated event in rugby league podcasting history. Prepare yourselves for the bone-crushing, heart-pounding excitement that only Boldo's tears can deliver. Tonight we bring you a spectacle like no other as we delve into the depths of the Cronulla Sharks' current playing group. But hold on to your seats because this isn't any ordinary installment. We're taking it to the next level, WrestleMania style, baby. So grab your championship belts, summon your inner wrestling and footy fan, and join us for an unforgettable journey as we smell what Boldo's cooking in this week's edition of Boldo's Tears.
Oh, thank you, lads, for that wonderful, wonderful introduction. And yes, I am over at WrestleMania in New York and Philadelphia. So it has got a wrestling theme, the Boldo's Tears. Look, this is not the salary cap. This is not who is atop the daily M points. This is who are the top Sharks players right now based on what we think the kind of their output into the team, their energy based on whole bunch of different factors and how much of a legend we think they are. So this is Boldo's Tears, WrestleMania themed. So at the bottom of the tiers, Atkinson, Hiroti, Peru, Takama, Burns, Beryl, Bradbury, Stone Street, and Gabriel. Stone Street and Gabriel going down in the tiers this week, and we're calling them, well, they're not even on the WrestleMania card. They don't even get to wrestle. They would be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, as the saying goes, which is any sort of match they can get to just include anyone. These guys not swimming today. Sadly, not really doing much for us. All right, on to the first set of tiers. We've got Kafusi, Jesse, Royce, and Trindle. And these guys, well, they're the Becky and Seth because the Becky and Seth both lost at WrestleMania, and we're not sure what's going to happen to them next. So these guys with Jesse being injured, Royce being a bit out of form, Trindle, I'm just worried, is he going to kick on? Kafusi, look, he's still in the starting lineup and maybe a bit tough on Kafusi, but maybe they can bounce back. But that's why we're putting them, the Becky and Seth, because former champs, they are going to come back. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. On the next, Dykes, Iro, and Tapua. I'm calling their round the LA Knight. That's because these three, well, they've done something pretty good. You know, Dykes has come back in his first match post-injury. Iro's managed to retain his spot. Tapua, well, he was on fire. So these guys are the young and upcoming upstarts. You've done something once, great. Now let's see what you can do again as we head into the next round of Boldo's Tears. Tommy and Dale Finucane. Well, we're calling these guys Roman Reigns. Why are we calling them Roman Reigns? Because they lost. They lost a little bit of something, and we're not sure how they're going to come back. Like Roman Reigns, who was the former champ, they were great players, or they were kind of higher up the tiers, but they've just slipped a little bit, like my good friend Roman Reigns, and we're not sure how they're going to come back next. On to the next. Rami and Cam and Williams. And we're calling these guys Randy Orton. So if you know anything about Randy Orton, you can get an RKO out of nowhere, baby, and these guys can just strike and they can do something good. And so we know that Rami and Cam and Williams, they can just strike out of nowhere and suddenly make us believe again. We saw it last week from Jack Williams in that match when he just came on and turned it from us. We've seen those performances from Cam where he just carries the team, and we know that Ramian is good for a try every so often. So we're calling them Randy Orton. On to the next. Rudolph and ULA. Well, these guys, they're called the CM Punk. Now, why are they called CM Punk? Because CM Punk is a gun wrestler, but he was injured at WrestleMania and didn't really get to wrestle. But he was still kind of there and still did some pretty cool stuff and was still kind of hanging out. So that's why we're calling them the CM Punk, because we're hoping they can come back and kind of get going. So Rudolph, Ueli, I believe in you guys. I know Ueli, you will have wanted to be called The Rock. Sadly, you're just CM Punk at the moment, but we know CM Punk's pretty good, and he is the best in the world. On to the next. Blake Nico Kennedy again, a massive promotion for Teague Wilton. This is like really bringing him up the order. What are we going to call them? Well, we're calling them Cody Rhodes. And why are we calling them Cody Rhodes? Because Cody Rhodes, his theme for WrestleMania was finishing the story. Now, finishing the story is all about you've got promise, you've got potential, but where's it going to go next, boys? What are you going to do next? And for Blake Brayley, are you going to make State of Origin? Nico, you are the top halfback on the Daily M, but are you really the top halfback in the NRL? How are you going to finish that story? Kennedy, how are you going to finish your story in terms of kicking on for a season? And Teague, you've done some good stuff now. You're in the starting lineup. You've usurped Wade Graham. What is your story? How does it finish? Where does it go? Sure, wrestling fans are loving this, and Lats and Franco are wondering what the bloody hell's going on. Next, Britt Nakora. Britt Nakora on the third level of the tiers, and we're calling you Stone Cold Steve Austin. And why are we calling you Stone Cold Steve Austin? Because Stone Cold Steve Austin wasn't at WrestleMania, but everyone knows he's still one of the top guys, even though he's been missing for a couple of WrestleManias. And Britt Nakora, you and I both know you're a great wrestler, you're a great footballer, and that's why we're calling you Stone Cold Steve Austin. All right, on to the next. We've got Ronaldo Mulitalo and Sione Katoa. What are we calling them? One of the great questions in wrestling is, who's better, Brett or Sean? Do you like Brett better? Do you like Sean better? Not sure. Which one you like better? Don't know. And this is the problem we face with Ronaldo Mulitalo and Sione Katoa. Which one do you actually like better? Wrestling fans have debated it for years, and we do it on this podcast, and I myself do it in terms of thinking who's better. I can't split them at the moment. So Ronaldo was caught back up to Sione, which is good news for you, which leads us to the final position on Boldo's tiers in terms of top Sharks players right now. And that position is going to who we're calling the final boss, which is The Rock, who actually didn't wrestle on the final night of WrestleMania, but was still there and actually came off the bench and did some awesome stuff, which is now Sia Sifatalakai. I am calling you top of the tiers. You are the final boss. You are The Rock of the top Sharks players right now. And funnily enough, I actually did these tiers before Talakai was named on the bench. And so the fact that it lined up with him being The Rock is just absolutely terrific. And that is where I've landed, ranking the Sharks players WrestleMania themed. Franco, how good is that one? I just keep getting better at these tiers. It's just perfect, isn't it? There's absolutely nothing wrong with my ranking of the Sharks players. That's how you would rank them as well, right?
No, it's not. No, it's not. Now, I'll probably give you the obligatory, this is trash, no good, you got to redo it all, just for Kelly's sake and William's sake, who's not here. A, the terrible looking pyramid. B, the categories make no sense. What is this based on? And then from my perspective, well, I don't know wrestling. I think I know the Ultimate Warrior and anyone who's gone into acting. Maybe there's a guy who does this or something, right? Can't see me. Is he one of these guys? I don't think he is.
He's not one of these guys.
No, it's not, mate.
There we go. I think towards the bottom there could be a bit of a shuffle around, right?
Yep.
I think poor Jesse hasn't played a game this season, been injured. I think it's a bit hard to put him there when Burns has played a couple of games, done what he's been brought to the club to do, which is fill in a crisis and do his role. So I think you could probably swap them. Yeah, I'd move Burns up. I would. You know, he's doing what he's been brought to the club to do, and he hasn't let the club down. So I think that's really good. And you'd almost sort of think about Atkinson in a similar way, right? We were all sort of asking before the bye why he was in the team. What, you know, it's a bit of a weird balance there against the Raiders. But again, he came in, he didn't let the team down, he did a good job. So I think those guys should be on the WrestleMania card. They've had a go, they've brought something to the team, and they should be a step up. You know, maybe poor Royce Hunt, who I think is a great part of the team, going down on the sideline before getting to step foot on the paddock. He might have to go down with Jesse as well. So I'd swap those two around.
Maybe Royce shouldn't be on the WrestleMania card either.
Yeah, I think just get a little bit of extra R&R, buddy, and come back better and stronger next time. I think, yeah, that's probably two key swaps there. Towards the top, obviously, Talakai, he's winning hearts. You know, he's just killing it with the Sharks at the moment. Brett or Sean, I couldn't tell you who was better, but yeah, I couldn't tell you who's better out of Mulitalo or Katoa either. Those guys, they are really good. They're entertainers for the Sharks. You look at, 80% of the highlights that get out of the Sharks, it's one of their mugs on the TV. So I think they're doing good. And you, Beauty, Nikora's back. Let's see how he goes. So yeah, I think you've done well. You know, you stumbled your first set of tiers, but this is looking all right. This is not too bad, mate.
All right, nice one, lads. Your reaction?
Mate, I'm actually pretty impressed with this, but I'm just having visions of Williams looking at this from his computer screen at home, still trying to work out what these tiers are all about and how they work and the categories and how they change and whatnot.
It's not the salary cap.
It's not the salary cap.
If it was
That's
the
correct.
salary cap, then it's not the Dalian points. It's based on contribution, based on position, and what we think you're being paid, what we expect from you, and what we think you're going to give us.
Well, mate, it's funny that I don't know if you just saw SJD just put in a comment, and that was going to be my player who I think's too low, and that's Trindle. I think he's been solid. I think he's being I think he's done his job. I think we've got no other option there. I think we've just got to get behind him. Nico, he can take over that more structured role. Nico can play that flashy game. I think he's too low. I'm glad to see that you've elevated Teague to a worthy position finally. I was quite pissed last time. I thought he was way too low. I think Royce needs to drop one. I think I'm with Franco on that one. I thought Kafusi's been pretty strong. He's come and done his job. But yeah, it is hard to argue with Talakai being the final boss of the Rock. And you can't split Ronnie or Katoa. Nicker is right up there. I think you've got it all pretty much bang on, mate, apart from those couple of little rebuttals I had.
Yeah, got to back SJD and Lats there. Trindle should definitely be up the tiers there. I don't know how many are allowed on each tier, but yeah, he should be shifted up quite a bit, I think.
Well, it's not a pyramid; it's a tier. So I decided that Nikora.
I think we've worked that out.
I just decided that Nikora could get his own. Oh, look, here's Chris Kelly coming in. How good is Mania? Yeah, thanks, Chris. Well, see, Chris agrees with the tiers. If he didn't agree with the tiers, he would say it's no good. All right, well, that was Boldo's tiers for this week. So we will move on. That was a lot of fun. We always have a lot of fun doing that, don't we? It's just a terrific segment.